Hey, what's up, guys? NFX here. I just wanted to let you guys know about an update to my Akai Fire MIDI script for those of you who are interested in using it. One of the things about it is it's pretty advanced and it has a lot of features that oftentimes are easy to not know about or to forget if you've used it and then you learn about it and then you haven't used it in a while. Maybe you forget what the macros do, for example. And so what I've done is in the latest version, there'll be a link in the description to this video, there's a helper file. Right now it's for people on Windows. And I'll show you what it does before I show you how to access it. Basically, I call it the Fire-NFX bridge, and it's a standalone type of executable that you would run, and when you run it and set it up, which this has already been set up, I'll show you the setup portion in a minute. But what you'll see is you can see what's on the display of the Fire. You can see how the knobs are defined, and you can see how the macros are defined. So if you were to be on the macro grid, and if you look at the screen, this 4x4 area is the macro grid, and the little window up here is telling me what each of those buttons do. So obviously, I can move this to a secondary monitor or have this floating on top and have an access to C, because these macros can change. For example, if I hit this grid button, it's going to change, and as it changes down here, you can see over here what they change to. Okay, so this way you can use the script and get more effective use from it by knowing what you have available to you. One of the key features of it, in addition to showing you the macros that are currently active, is showing you how the knobs are defined. So for example, if I was to activate a sampler channel, you would see that the knobs are defined as labeled here, and that's nothing new. These are the default modes. But for something like FPC, for example, if I was to bring that up, you can see that down below, in addition to the 4 regular ones down below, it tells you FPC hold pad and then what happens when you hold the pad down. So if I go here into drum mode, and there's my FPC layout, right? You could see it. Let me move this guy up just so you can see it's laid out. The color on your screen isn't as good as in real life, but the color here mimics the color of up here, right? But what this is telling you is if you hold the pad, these knobs control the volume, the panning, and the tuning. And just to demonstrate, I'm going to hold down this button, which is a snare. Then I'm going to move the tuning. I'm holding it and turning the knob. And you can hear how I can control it. Now, without this helper program, you would have had to have, I don't know, read the documentation, or you may not know about that feature. So that's kind of the goal with this bridge program, is to allow you to see much more easily what things are available to you. Okay, so that's what the program is about. Now, to install the program, let me just go ahead and close it from here for now. To install the program, what you would do is when you download and install the plugin itself, inside of that, when you unzip it, is another zip file called Fire-NFX-Bridge.zip. And what you'll want to do is extract that. So we're just going to say to open it, or we can extract it, better yet. Well, let's just extract it. It's going to ask where we want to extract it to. You can extract it to any location, but you need to know where you've extracted it to so you can run it, obviously. If I use the default Windows extract, what's going to happen, it's going to make a new folder and throw it in there for me. And now I'm going to run it. And when I run it, you'll see that there it is. It's started up, but it needs to know where your script is located. So the first time you run it, you're going to go to this General tab, and it's going to start you off in a location, but you need to browse to where you've installed the Fire-NFX script. So I'm going to hit this button over here, and I'm going to browse to it. There's my location. I'm going to select that folder. And now it'll know where the script is located and where to get its information from. So now, if we start the bridge, right now it's not started, so there's nothing there. But if we start the bridge, it's monitoring, right? And now it's displaying the macros and everything. Some of the options here is to auto start the bridge when you load the program. I would recommend doing that. That probably should be a default option, but just make sure you select it so that when you first run the bridge, after setting it up, it auto starts. And another one is to keep the window on top. And what this will do is, so like, you know, like this window here, let's say, goes over it when I click on it. But you can force this to stay on the top by selecting that. Let me see, I think I might have to stop and restart. And there you go. It should stay, when you reload it, it should stay on top. If it doesn't, it's a bug, but that's that. And then what tab do you want it to start on? There are 3 tabs. There's Display, Knobs, and Macro Grid, and General, where the settings are. So you can set this drop down to say where you want it to start. And I'll say start on the macro grid, and I'll hit the save options. Okay, so when I start this folder, or when I start this app, I'll go ahead and close it. And you can see it's made a file here with your settings in it. But when I double click it now, there it is. It started, and it went to the appropriate grid that I want to see. And now if I click on these windows here behind it, you can see that they're not going over the top because I have this set to stay on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and close these guys, and that's the Fire-NFX bridge. So hopefully you guys will find some use from it, and it'll help make your usage of the Fire-NFX script that much more effective and useful. Thanks for watching.